barely concentrate. I was distracted, wondering what Jamie needed to tell me so badly. I wanted to know, but I didn't want to know. Maybe it'd be better if we didn't actually have a chance to talk. Maybe she'd forget about whatever it was. When the bell finally rang, I grabbed my folder and bolted out of there, trying to get to my locker before Jamie. I'm Mitch Sloan. She's Jamie Spielberger. We were assigned lockers alphabetically, so hers is right near mine, with only 2 Smiths and a Spander in between. I threw my science book on one shelf and got my math book out from another. But I wasn't fast enough. I saw her out of the corner of my eye, taking a small leather notebook out of her bag. She cleared her throat, just to be sure I noticed her. "Oh, hey, Jamie," I said, trying to sound casual. "What did you want to talk to me about before?" I took a deep breath and waited for her answer. "Trade it," she said, turning the knob on her lock. "Huh?" "Trade it." "Trade what?" She looked up, frustrated, and put a hand on her hip. "Did you or didn't you get the first pick in the 7th grade fantasy football draft?" Phew, none of that awkward girl-boy stuff. It was a total relief. I had to wipe a stupid grin off my face. "Yeah," I said proudly. "I got the first pick out of the 10 teams, and I traded," she said again, cutting me off. "Everyone wants it, and they think it's more valuable than it really is. Sure, you'll get a good player, but then you won't go again until the last pick of the 2nd round. So you're better off with picks 10 and 11, or picks 9 and 12, than you are with picks 1 and 20. Wait, whoa, how did she know that? The thing is, I knew it too. I had totally been planning to trade that first pick. Everybody wants it, so they think it's special, worth more than it is. There's even a name for when something like this happens: the winner's curse, which means you do whatever you can to get something you really want because you thought everybody else really wanted it, and it turns out it wasn't worth it. But I was surprised, shocked really, that Jamie knew about the winner's curse too. I'd never met any other kids who understood this kind of thing. And by the time I got my brain unstuck and my mouth working again, Jamie was already walking away down the hall, the leather notebook poking out from her back pocket. "Thanks, Jamie," I yelled to her down the hall. "I was going to do that anyway." 2 hours and 8 minutes later, not that I was counting, the second bell rang and it was official. I had survived my first week at Jonesburg Middle School. Ever since my first week of kindergarten, I'd always felt pretty good on Friday afternoons. But this day, I was feeling extra pretty good. I'd learned my way around the building. I hadn't gotten into any trouble with my teachers. I even liked some of them. I'd learned the names of a few other sports freaks and gotten invited to join their fantasy football league. Plus, I'd gotten the first pick in the draft. And there was Jamie. She seemed kind of cool, and it looked like she might be interested in some of the same stuff I was, like anything having to do with football. I like all sports, really. Football, baseball, basketball, you name it. Actually, I like talking and thinking about sports more than I like playing them. Probably because I'm much better at it. I like figuring out strategy and how to win. That's why I love fantasy sports. No drop passes, just who to pick and who to play. But there's one other thing I like almost as much, maybe even more, and I might as well tell you up front. I love money and business. Okay, before you decide that this makes me a greedy kid who doesn't care about the things that really matter, let me explain. See, most kids in my grade